Hey guys, Tweenwave back again. It's been too long, like usual, but I'm happy to do another video. Hope everyone's doing well, as always. And I'm actually playing something in the background, very faintly. This is The Books, Lemon of Pink, one of my favorites. And it's been hectic. Did get to play some jazz, a little jazz trio this past weekend, which is always fun. And speaking of that, that's kind of why I'm here. I'm going to do the ECM thread that Jeff has been posted a couple days ago. Well, probably more than a couple days. I'm always late to getting around to doing these things, but I'm happy to participate in this one because I have a somewhat well, not sizable, but I got a fair amount of ECM records, and there's a lot of good stuff. I will say I don't, that label's not as good as Blue Note or Prestige or Impulse or anything like that, but there was a lot of cool records coming out, especially in the early 70s, early and mid 70s. That was a good time for that label. So he has just to pick 5. I actually picked 6 because one of them I've already shown, but I kind of want to show it again. So we'll kind of count that one, but kind of not. So I'm just going to get right into it. This is ECM Jazz, and actually there's a couple non-jazz. ECM did more than just jazz. They did some weird-ass classical and avant-garde stuff too. These aren't in any order except for this first one, which really is my favorite. This is Dave Holland, Conference of the Birds. Probably my favorite record on ECM, because I love this group so much. It's Dave Holland on bass, Sam Rivers, and Anthony Braxton on sax, flute. I think one of them's probably playing clarinet, and then Barry Altschul on percussion. So it kind of reminds me of Ornette Coleman stuff a little bit, because there's no piano, there's no piano or guitar, so it's just really hard swinging, like bop kind of stuff, and then for the solos it just gets crazy. But this was a record I found in a bookstore in upstate New York for like $2, and it's in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of like wear here, and then the spine's kind of falling apart here. So it was something I picked up. I was hoping to replace it with a better copy, and I've just never found another copy of this. So I'm just holding on to it until I can upgrade. But yeah, that's such a great record right there. Number 2 is Jan Garbarek and the Bobo Stenson Quartet. Jan Garbarek was kind of like a fixture of this label. He's a lot of soprano sax on this one. So if you don't like soprano sax, I wouldn't recommend it. He plays tenor too, but not as much. And then Bobo Stenson's the piano player. I really like Bobo Stenson. He sort of carries the record. There's a tune called Desireless, which is like 20 minutes long, and he's got like a 10-minute solo. Kind of reminds me of Alice Coltrane a little bit, at least that particular song. There's a Carla Bley song on here. There's one song written by the bass player, Paul Danielson. Danielson is on double bass. John Christensen is on drums. So a lot of these guys are also played with Keith Jarrett, who was also a fixture of ECM. But yeah, Wichita is the name of this one. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Wichita might be closer to correct. Also, still could be wrong. But yeah, this was the first album they did as this quartet, and then they did one after this called Dancier, which is also pretty good. This one I've listened to a lot more, and I really like. Number 3 is Jack DeJohnette. This is the one I've shown before. Oh, sorry for that glare there. I think I showed it in the Alphabet video, but it's so good I had to show it again. So we'll kind of count this one, even though I didn't want to do any repeats. But yeah, this is a quartet. Jack DeJohnette's a great drummer. If you haven't heard his drumming, pick up one of 100 albums that he's played on. And then David Murray, Arthur Blythe, and Peter Warren, the rest of the group. This is really, really good stuff. It's from like 1979 or 1980. Fantastic stuff. If you like jazz that's not straight, head, solo, 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 head again, this would be one to pick up. Really, really good. And moving right along, Art Ensemble of Chicago. This is Full Force. I've shown a different one. I've shown Urban Bushman before, and that one I kind of like better. This one was the first record I ever heard by these guys, so it kind of has a sentimental value to me. And there's one tune in particular, Charlie M, which is the tribute to Charles Mingus. It's just phenomenal. Really good playing. Love those guys. Now, the next one is kind of a famous record. This is Steve Reich, or Reich. I think it's Steve Reich. Music for 18 Musicians. Not jazz. This is, I guess you'd call it modern classical, even though it's, you know, over 30 years old. Or minimalism is a better description of it. And I'm not a huge, you know, minimalism guy, but this is really, really good. I like this record a lot. Last but not least, this is a really cool record. This is Dolman Music by Meredith Monk. Came out in 1981, and it's also really not jazz. This turns up every now and then. I got this for like $6, and I usually see it between like 6 and 10. If you can find it, I recommend picking it up. Meredith Monk is crazy strange. She's a vocalist that does these weird vocal extended techniques. She does things with her voice that most people like have never even thought of doing. I just want to show that vinyl because it's really clean. But yeah, the thing with this one is it's kind of a collection of pieces. Yes, some of the stuff goes back from like to like 1973, 1975, and then side 2 is a side long track. It's the title track, Dolman Music. It's got that piece is so crazy. It's got. I'm trying to think of the arrangement. I want to get that right. Oh, it doesn't really matter. But it's got like 6 voices, and I think percussion and cello or violin. It's crazy good. I think, I know someone has shown this video before. Probably Derek. Seems like it's his type of thing. Well, it's definitely my type of thing too. I really like this record. So that was actually 6 ECM records. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to show, but when you have to pare it down to 5, you got to leave out some good stuff. So there's that. Keep watching and commenting. It's always wonderful to get comments. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.